Previously on Talk That Talk.
Why do you feel that mass band has, for high schoolers, have turned from actually doing a field show to exhibiting the drill writing skills and of those directors to where we are now to just park and play? In my opinion, I'm just being honest, I would be more susceptible to sending my students if I know they was going to do something like that. If I know that they was going to actually drill, just being honest. I see Justin's face. If I know they was going to drill and learn the techniques of drilling, regardless if it's 8 to 5 or whatever style, I would honestly be more susceptible to sending that because, again, you come back with a different sense of knowledge than just park and park and play or blow that hoe. I guess it's a difference. That's just my opinion. Like, why did we transition from? Because if you look at if you type I believe Great Houston All Star to even 2010, they was doing drills the entire time, but they also had their stand battles as well. Like when you look at LLI to this day, bro, like. I would say, in my opinion, my favorite LLI is 2006.
Yeah.
They're like when they play Fly Like a Bird, like awesome. You feel what I'm saying? Outside of that, and there were really no other bands that was around that really was touching that high school sector. So why did it change from drilling, learning field shows to now we just playing 15 rap songs in a round? That's my question.
My answer to that is a few things. One, Quan, most of those bands who actually drill, 9 times out of 10, it was 90% high school. It was like either the ones you've seen, I think you've seen one in Dallas, and a lot was all high school. It's either a high school thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's what the high school all-star bands did. You don't find a MAB doing a field show. You don't find a doing a field show. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did. Another reason why they don't do that, band directors really don't know their kids. I hate to say that. Like, if this was 2 summers ago, Quan, they would have threw you in the fire of the band directors who goes against All-Star Band. And I love grilling band directors who go against All-Star Band because they don't be doing their kids. Not saying you don't. Kids get tired of like marching in the season. They really want to blow that hoe. That's what at least our summer band is for. Now, you have a great point. Band directors would be want to see the kids that we was doing field show and doing a lot of the fundamental things, but I can tell you this: how many times you see band directors ever really who go against some band actually coming out and offering help?
So that's a great point. So I've spoken to band directors again in both states. You know, I travel, and I've heard some of the reasons why they didn't send their kids was because of my previous answer, the accountability of the students, the students coming back to them saying like, hey, I don't feel safe in specific situations. I think honestly, it's not even about the blowing that whole part. It's about the accountability of that student, because what people fail to realize is, for example, like your brand, Smash Time, if you have Smash Time All-Star Band, which could be a thing, you feel me? So you got the Smash Time band, right? So if I send my kid to that program, you got to realize I, as a certified teacher, have endorsed you. So if something happens to that student and I endorse that program, then they're going to come back and be like, well, who told you go to Smash Time All-Star Band? Well, Mr. Mitchell told me to go. Okay, Mr. Mitchell, first of all, you've taken, in the state of Texas, it's called a professional pedagogy and responsibilities test, PPR, which means at all times, if I hear anything that my child is in danger, if I don't report that, then I'm fired. See, it's certain educational parameters that at all times, even we talking about and just getting down to it, if I hear one of my students was having sex, if I hear there was inappropriately touched, if I like whatever you think, if I hear it and that child is in danger, even if just say we doing a homework assignment and that child writes a poem and it's about committing suicide, I got to do that too. I got to report that too. So, and that's including All-Star Band and outside entities and third parties as well.
Quan,
go ahead, bro.
As you should be concerned about all those things. I feel like I'm a lawyer for All-Star Band. It feels good.
I'm not against it though. I just want everybody to say that.
I just feel like, okay, I can't speak for as you talk, is like we can keep together here. I know exactly who you're talking about in the programs. Where is that? I can
Oh
only
no,
speak.
I don't know. I'm not speaking about one.
Okay. I'm gonna say I can only speak for where I'm at and the programs that I know that have successful summer bands. I'm gonna stress on that. Like you send your kid to us, we're not smoking in front of no damn kids. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say we know these kids better than their band director know for no reason. Like it's some of the stuff like people just say we blowing the hell. You gotta know how to read to come in some of these summer bands. So you don't want to feel embarrassed. You know, the on you play, that's a real thing in some band, in some good programs that I've been around. You know what I'm saying? The Memphises, the Mavs, the New Orleans All-Star bands. I know for sure. So a lot of those things that a band director will be concerned about, I'm not saying they're not gonna see something that you wouldn't do at your high school. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe cursing, but man, high school band directors curse, college band directors curse. But like a lot of them things like smoking and like the sex and stuff like that, it don't happen at the programs I represent. You know what I'm saying? That don't happen. It may happen like outside of parameters afterwards. We can't control nothing that happens between our practice hours. You know what I'm saying? But you should be concerned in that. But I'm gonna just say, if you feel that strongly about like protecting your kids and stuff like that, just don't send them to summer band. But at the same time, you also know you really can't technically control what they do. So that's my question to the director. So you didn't, let's say you didn't approve of your kid performing in such all-star band over summer, and they still do, and you're gonna penalize them because I know a few summers ago, band director was going crazy, saying some band teach bad habits. Whole time your kid coming up can't read for real. Like you know what I'm saying. So we teaching them more than you teaching them. But when they come to you and they bragging and teaching the other kids the stuff that you really didn't teach them, that's a part of the reason why like band directors don't be rocking with some bands too. So as concerned as you are, Quan, about the stuff that actually matters, you have band directors who actually be hating for real. That we learn more in our 3 days a week practice than some college bands too, learning 5, 6, 7 days of practice. So I'm gonna say that don't happen in our band. I can't control everything that happened in summer bands, but a lot of that stuff, at least I can speak for where we at, you know what I'm saying, don't really happen because one, Quan, you I know you know 5 or 6 people in our band. You can look at our band, you know what I'm saying? And when it does happen, if you do see the glazing, because that may be a big thing too. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that y'all not really glazing no high school kids. You know what I'm saying? That's terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Push on, sir.
Huh? Well, that was a voiceover. Yeah, so that's that about that. But I'm not saying it don't happen, Quan. I'm gonna just say from our band and like what the programs that I seen, you got other stuff to worry about, but then like smoking or like you know what I'm saying, like we practice and we practice in the heart of the 17th, right at Dunbar. You understand what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So like the city as a whole just bad. So like those small things, like I don't know, man. It's tough to explain, but you do have a right to be concerned about those things. I'm just saying, there's a lot of other things that I think that you should be, people should be concerned about that they give some bands flack for. So I know we kind of ran up a good topic.
All right,
No. So I just want to do one more comment, Jules. So let me say this, bro. I'm from the same area. You feel what I'm saying? So I think it's a difference. Like you say, New Orleans is like its own country. It is, but that's how it is with band. So, bro, you could be selling dope, but you respect the band. Like it's just certain things in New Orleans that you're not going to be disrespectful to band. I don't care what it is, right? So I think that's the difference. So that syllogism that you just spoke is your absolute truth. But I've seen and I've traveled from Texas, Louisiana, and so forth and so on, and seen those and spoke to those band directors who are frat brothers and was like, nah, I'm not gonna send them there because of X, Y, and Z. And their motive is not from a hating perspective, is like, man, their systems and organization is just not together. Or X, Y, Z is not together. And like my student went there to whatever the facility was, right? And then practice didn't start till like 2 hours later because they couldn't find nowhere to practice. Like it was things like that was stated that are actual, as a director, you got to remember, if I endorse it, then I'm supporting it. On the flip side of that, look at what Julian said about his band director. Mr. Thornton and Woolridge, they was the kings. We're talking not of just Houston, but of Texas. And his standard was like, nah, at that time, y'all not performing in Greater Houston All-Star. And if that was his standard, but then he produced, because some of the greatest students that I know, and honestly, during his tenure at Woolridge, if you came out of Woolridge, you was a great marching band player. You was a great concert band player. If you decided to become a band director, honestly, you know your stuff now. So I think it's those small pockets that we see the negative, and unfortunately, one bad apple will always spoil a bunch, and that negative aspect and connotation gonna resound bigger than the positive what New Orleans is doing. Like, I think y'all had like a combine. Nobody really was talking about that. And I saw some of the stuff and that was positive. You see what I'm saying? It's like, so I'm not knocking what you're saying, but it's more, and because you're a media person, if you go in some of those band camps and honestly show what they're doing, the teaching that they're doing, I think people's perspective will also be changed too. Just like our culture as Black folks, we not all robbing people. We out here doing positive things for our community. But if we shine a light on that, then it's going to have a different perspective, even with our own people.
Gotcha.